1. A training program for AP Computer Science. A teacher's emphasizes backward design principles. Which sequence best demonstrates this curriculum development approach? A. Write daily lesson plans. Select programming exercises. Determine assessment methods. Identify learning objectives. B. Identify desired learning outcomes. Determine acceptable evidence of learning. Plan learning experiences and instruction. C. Choose a textbook. Follow the chapter sequence. Create quizzes based on chapters. Assess student performance. D. Survey student interests. Design engaging activities. Develop projects. Create summative assessments. 2. When evaluating a student's recursive algorithm implementation, which formative assessment technique provides the most insight into their conceptual understanding? A. Administering a timed multiple-choice quiz on recursion syntax. B. Requiring students to trace code execution and explain base cases and recursive calls verbally. C. Checking if the program compiles without errors. D. Comparing their code structure to the teacher's solution. 3. An APCSA instructor notices that students from diverse backgrounds show varied engagement levels. According to adult learning principles, what approach best addresses this in a professional development context for teachers? A. Standardize all instruction to ensure equity across all learner groups. B. Recognize prior experiences and allow teachers to connect new content to their existing knowledge base. C. Focus exclusively on the AP exam format to maximize score outcomes. D. Separate teachers by experience level for all training sessions. 4. Which mentoring technique is most effective when supporting a novice AP computer science? A teacher struggling with object-oriented programming instruction. A. Providing complete lesson plans to follow without modification. B. Demonstrating a lesson while the mentee observes, followed by collaborative reflection and gradual release. C. Sending the teacher to observe multiple veteran teachers without structured debriefing. D. Requiring the teacher to independently study OOP textbooks and report back. 5. The College Board requires APCSA teachers to submit a syllabus for course audit. Which component is mandatory for regulatory compliance? A. A detailed daily schedule for all 180 school days. B. Evidence that the curriculum includes all topics in the course and exam description with adequate instructional time. C. Proof of teacher certification in computer science from an accredited university. D. Student testimonials from previous APCSA courses taught. 6. When designing a summative assessment for the ARRAYList unit, which evaluation method best aligns with AP exam expectations? A. A project where students create a graphical user interface using array lists. B. Free response questions requiring students to write, analyze, and modify code using ARRAYList methods. C. Multiple choice questions exclusively about ARRAYList syntax. D. A presentation explaining the theoretical differences between arrays and array lists. 7. A curriculum development team is sequencing topics for APCSA. According to cognitive load theory, how should inheritance and polymorphism be introduced? A. Teach both concepts simultaneously in the first week to show their interconnection. B. Introduce inheritance first, allow time for mastery, then build polymorphism on that foundation. C. Begin with polymorphism since it's more abstract and engaging. D. Teach them in random order based on student interest surveys. 8. Which communication strategy is most effective when explaining to administrators why APCSA students need extended lab time for the Create Performance task? A. Citing College Board requirements and explaining how the task assesses computational thinking skills aligned with AP standards. B. Arguing that computer science is more important than other subjects. C. Comparing your needs to other departments without specific justification. D. Requesting the time without providing educational rationale. 9. In mentoring a teacher who received low student evaluation scores, which approach demonstrates effective coaching principles? A. Immediately observing their class and listing everything they did wrong. B. beginning with strengths, using specific evidence, and collaboratively developing an action plan with measurable goals. C. Suggesting they consider teaching a different subject. D. Providing generic teaching tips unrelated to computer science instruction. 10. When evaluating student understanding of 2D arrays, which assessment item best measures depth of knowledge at the application level? A. Define what a 2D array is and list its properties. B. Write a method that traverses a 2D array to find and replace specific values based on given conditions. C. Identify the correct syntax for declaring a 2D array from multiple choices. D. Memorize the output of a given 2D array traversal. The College Board's APCSA course and exam description undergoes periodic updates. What is a teacher's professional responsibility regarding these changes? A. Continue teaching the same curriculum since the core content rarely changes. B. Review updates annually, adjust curriculum accordingly, and ensure compliance with current framework and exam format. C. Wait for the school district to mandate changes before modifying instruction. D. Only modify instruction if students complain about exam misalignment. 12. Which curriculum development principle best supports differentiation in an APCSA classroom with mixed ability students? A. Teaching to the middle and expecting struggling students to seek outside help. B. Providing tiered assignments, flexible pacing options, and multiple means of demonstrating mastery while maintaining rigorous standards. C. Separating students into permanent ability groups with different curricula. D. Focusing instruction solely on students most likely to score 5 on the exam. 13. During a professional learning community meeting, APCSA teachers discuss student misconceptions about parameter passing. Which adult learning principle is demonstrated when teachers share their own classroom experiences? A. Didactic instruction. B. Experiential learning and reflection on practice. C. Passive knowledge transmission. D. Standardized protocol adherence. 14. When a mentee teacher struggles with classroom management during lab activities, which mentoring response provides the most growth opportunity? A. Taking over the class to show the right way without explanation. B. Asking reflective questions about what they observed, exploring alternative strategies together, and role-playing scenarios. C. Telling them that classroom management cannot be taught. D. Providing a list of rules to enforce without discussing underlying principles. 15. Which evaluation method provides the most reliable data about student preparedness for the APCSA exam's multiple choice section? A. Weekly quizzes using only teacher-created questions. B. Periodic practice with released College Board items and analysis of performance patterns across content areas. C. Student self-assessment surveys about confidence levels. D. Monitoring homework completion rates. 16. A teacher is developing a unit on recursion. Which instructional sequence best reflects understanding of schema construction in learning theory? A. Begin with complex recursive algorithms like merge sort before explaining base cases. B. Start with concrete examples and visual traces, progress to simple implementations, then advance to complex applications. C. Provide the formal mathematical definition first, then show code examples. D. Assign recursive programming tasks without preliminary instruction to encourage discovery. 17. When communicating with parents about their students' performance in APCSA, which approach is most professionally appropriate? A. Using technical jargon to demonstrate expertise in computer science. B. Providing specific examples of student work, explaining assessment criteria, and offering concrete strategies for improvement. C. Comparing their students' performance to other students by name. D. Discussing only grades without context about skill development. 18. The College Board mandates that APCSA courses provide hands-on lab experiences. What percentage of instructional time is recommended for lab work to maintain compliance? A. At least 10% of instructional time. B. At least 20% of instructional time. C. At least 50% of instructional time. D. No specific percentage is mandated, only that hands-on work is included. 19. Which assessment strategy best evaluates a student's ability to analyze code, a key skill on the APCSA exam? A. Asking students to write code from scratch without any prompts. B. Providing code segments and asking students to determine output, identify errors, or explain purpose. C. Having students memorize code examples. D. Testing only syntax knowledge through fill-in-the-blank questions. 20. In a curriculum development workshop, teachers debate whether to teach Java syntax before or alongside algorithmic thinking. Which approach best aligns with APCSA learning objectives? A. Teach all Java syntax first in isolation before introducing any problem solving. B. Integrate syntax instruction within meaningful problem-solving contexts, building both skills concurrently. C. Focus exclusively on algorithmic thinking and minimize syntax instruction. D. Allow students to choose any programming language and syntax. 21. When mentoring a first-year APCSA teacher who is overwhelmed, which principle of adult learning should guide the mentor's approach? A. Provide all resources and solutions immediately to reduce stress. B. Help the teacher prioritize essential skills, set realistic goals, and build confidence through incremental successes. C. Expect the same performance as veteran teachers from the beginning. D. Limit interaction to formal evaluation sessions only. 22. A teacher uses cooperative learning groups for a complex programming project. Which evaluation method best assesses individual student contributions and learning? A. Assigning the same group grade to all members. B. Combining group product assessment with individual code reviews, reflections, and peer evaluations. C. Grading only the final program output. D. Assessing participation based solely on attendance.